Hello, and welcome to Freedom with Marketing. I'm Sam, the founder of Freedom with Marketing, and welcome to the Life, Leadership and Business Skills playlist. In this video, I'm going to share with you a story from my hobby, my passion, which is long distance running. And I want to share with you how 1 second you're out running and you feel like you're on top of the world and you can run forever, and then 30 seconds later you're in a slump. And I want to tell you the story about how this happens, why this happens, and how you can then extract and apply the core lesson from this into your life and business. So let's get started. Whenever you're out running, if you're running yourself, and you've been going on for several hours, as you might do in a marathon or a trail run or a training run, you will almost certainly find that at one moment you'll have all the endorphins running in your brain. Everything feels good, you feel euphoric, you feel on top of the world, all the pain, all the discomfort is gone, you feel great. At these moments, you start to think to yourself, well, I'm actually crushing this, I can go on forever, I'm going to push, I'm going to beat all my goals, achieve all my targets, I feel great. That's a very dangerous way to think about things, because at the end of a hike, you will typically slowly go down, and then things will drop off a cliff. And the next thing you know, you're in a slump, everything hurts, every step you take is painful. Every time you move forward, you have discomfort. Your thoughts of euphoria and all the positive thoughts tend to flip around. That's when you start to think to yourself, what am I doing out here? Why am I doing this? I could be back at home, I could be doing other things. Now, in my experience, the difference between the high and the low can be a matter of minutes. Equally, when you're in a low, if you take the right strategy in that moment, it will help lift you out of that low, and then you will likely experience a high. Well, the simple solution to this, when you're in a low, to get to a high in running, is often to take on more calories. When you're running and exercising, you're burning hundreds of calories per hour, and all of the nutrition that you take in is being sent to your muscles in order to get your muscles to work, which means your brain isn't getting any glucose or any energy. This is why if you're out for a run or you're engaged in hard physical exercise, it's pretty hard to think and make decisions. So if you start to take on more calories, your body's replenished, your body has the energy, and more importantly, your brain starts to get more energy going to it, which then slowly starts to lift you out of it. That is the most simple solution that you can do when you're in a low to get out of it. That's what happens when you're in long distance running. Now, how does this actually apply in business and in life? Well, I can't really talk too much about what happens in life, because life is highly subjective. What happens to you and what happens to me are two very different things. But I can tell you about things that happen in business and how to manage it. The first thing is, that the most important lesson that I want you to take away from this is that at one moment, everything is going to feel fantastic, everything's fallen in place, you feel great. The moment might come when you have a client commit to a large contract, and that large contract might be a 5-figure contract that you just landed from a client. You might feel great. And all of a sudden, a day or two later, all of this might come crashing down and you might experience a low. Now, what might happen there is that all of a sudden, the client that you've been speaking to has decided that they want to change things and they no longer want to proceed with it. All of a sudden, you would have gone from having a 5-figure contract, which would solve cash flow issues for this month and possibly next month, depending on where you're at in your business, to all of a sudden you have nothing. This is really common, and it's something that I've experienced over and over again. Not every situation would be like what I've just described, but the whole concept of you feel up here 1 minute and down here the next, it's a common pattern. And the lesson is that you need to treat the highs and the lows with the same kind of emotion. You need to be able to celebrate your wins, because the more wins you have, the more momentum it gives you, the more confidence it gives you, the more you are able to push through in the hard times. When you're in the lows, you need to learn to extract the value from them, and then to be able to convert the negative into a positive experience. The way to do that is to understand that every adverse situation you're in, every time you're in a situation that does not go to plan, what you have there is a story. And people always prefer to listen to stories where you suffer, things go wrong, things did not go to plan. They would much rather listen to that than listen to you talk about your successes. So whenever you're in a negative situation or something goes wrong, such as a client unexpectedly cancels a contract, you can describe the story and the situation that you're in. You can take note of the emotions that you're feeling, take note of how you're reacting and what's going through your head, and be as detailed as you can and objective as you can about articulating these. Because I can guarantee you that if you are feeling these emotions, that someone else out there will experience exactly the same. So if you can then retell the story based on the emotions that you experienced, you're going to connect to your target audience much more deeply on a much more personal level. And ultimately, when you can do that, what you will find is you will find that you will start to build more trust. People will confide in you more. You will become more of a trusted advisor because they're going to start to think this person gets it, they understand me, and ultimately that will increase your sales, clients, and increase your profit margins and cash flow in the future. So the takeaway lesson here is that you will experience ups and downs. You will experience being way up here and way down here, but you need to treat each in the same kind of way. Extract the positives and just be aware that when you're up here, you'll probably crash in the near future. Expect it, anticipate it, prepare for it. When you're down here in a low, just know and be confident that you are going to get out of it. That's all I've got for you today. If you would like to explore ways of working with my agency, Freedom with Marketing, you will find a link in the description below on what we do, how we can help you, and how to get in touch. Thank you for your time and attention. See you in the next video.